Hello everyone, Genki here, and today we're taking out Pokemon Legends EA, but I can only use Lopunny. Lopunny is a Pokemon that is more known for its body shape than its battle prowess. It's pure normal, with a 480 base stat total. As expected of a rabbit, its highest stat is its speed, at 105. However, what I didn't expect from Lopunny is that it's more defensive than offensive. When it Mega Evolves though, it gains a huge boost to attack, with the remaining points going to its defense and speed. It also becomes part fighting when it Mega Evolves. This adds more downsides than upsides, I think. The added fighting type gives Lopunny a weakness to flying, psychic, and fairy, but hey, at least we'll get the same type of attack bonus on fighting moves. Speaking of fighting moves, Lopunny gets a few by level up. At an early level, Lopunny gets access to Mach Punch and Power Up Punch. However, we'll be starting with Baniri, so we'll need to use the Move Reminder feature to get access to those. When it comes to normal moves, Headbutt will sadly be the strongest one we have access to. Lopunny does learn Giga Impact by TM, but that move is slow, so I don't think it's worth it. At high levels, Lopunny gets some interesting type coverage. Iron Tail could see some use, but what catches my eye is Bounce. This move will probably be our answer to fighting types until we get something better. That something better is Play Rough, which Lopunny learns by TM. When looking at Lopunny's TM list, the only useful moves are just this top section right here. Nothing else matters. I would like access to close combat, but that requires Mabel's Research level 37, and that ain't happening. Let's go over the rules. I can only use Lopunny in battle. No items in battle, only held items outside of combat are allowed. With all that out of the way, let's begin. We started the challenge by transferring in a Baniri via Pokemon Home, and named her Cottontail. Cotton for short. She's careful in nature, so more special defense, less special attack. She's also level 1, and only knows Tackle and Splash. I trained her up in Wild Zone 1, but when I noticed Cotton had not learned anything new by level 7, I looked up her move pool, and Baniri does not get a new move until level 14. I understand Baniri is normally not available until Wild Zone 6, but you gotta be kidding me. With the training a bust, I made my way back to the hotel to progress the story. Cotton was level 11 when we challenged our first ZRL opponent. And yeah, with only Tackle for damage, Zack Slowpoke was not taking a lot of damage. It got Cotton down to a quarter before we could take it out. This made Cotton easy pickings for Zack's Pidgey. Rather than leveling up Cotton, I decided to try something different. Instead of having her stay put and wait for Tackle to come off cooldown, I had Cotton hop circles around Slowpoke, making it miss its water gun and do little damage with its confusions. This allowed Cotton to take out Slowpoke with half her health remaining. We then continued the strat for Pidgey, who unlike Slowpoke was a 3 KO. Last on Zack's team was Pikachu, who was also a 3 KO. Who knew embracing Cotton's bunny instincts were going to be the key to victory? Next up for the ZRL was Yvonne. Her Spritzy loves to lower our special defense with fake tears. This allowed it to do big damage, getting Cotton under half before we could take it out. Yvonne's next Pokemon, Swirlix, not only has fake tears, but also charm. Thankfully, Cotton has Swift and Draining Kiss to ignore the attack drop. She was down to only a 5th when we took out Swirlix. This left only Yvonne's Vivian, who as usual decided to be a little shit with Infestation. At level 21, with Digger in her move pool over Swift, Cotton was able to take out Spritzy with only a quarter of her health gone. Swirlix's charm did help it survive longer than Spritzy. However, with Draining Kiss now doing more damage, Cotton was still in great health as she took out Swirlix. To combat Vivian, we had to employ the same strat as we did battling Zack, and have Cotton hop around Vivian. We used Protect to block Infestation. However, with only Tackle and Draining Kiss for damage, we had to run and dodge a second Infestation before we could go back in and finally take out that annoying butterfly. On to our next opponent, Zavi. His lead Venipede got in some damage with its spikes and Pin Missile, but Cotton was easily able to take it out. However, she then went down to Zavi's Roselia, with it only having a sliver health remaining. So, y'all remember earlier when I said Cotton was traded in? Well, because of that, we have a forced level cap, and at only rank X, the level cap is 30. Cotton is currently level 26. We needed to evolve her now. Lopunny is a friendship evolution, and one of the most frustrating, as Baniri starts with the friendship of 0. To boost her friendship, I decided to use berries. Hoodoo berries in particular. Raising Cotton's friendship while in exchange lowering Khan's special attack. Consuming 10 berries got Khan to max friendship, allowing us to finally evolve her. With our now fully evolved Contail, we challenged Zavi, taking out his Venipede and Roselia while still in great health. This brought out his Gabra, who always sets up Reflect. Sadly, we could not take it out fast enough to stop the Reflect, but we did take it out with it only doing a little damage to Psybeam. All that was left on Zavi's team was Furfrou. We started by blocking his takedown, but from there the battle was almost on equal footing. Furfrou and Conan traded moves back and forth, getting each other both to a sliver of health. Thankfully we had Mach Punch, which outsped Furfrou's bite, giving us the win. We didn't keep Mach Punch for long, as we soon got Ice Punch from Mabel's research, which we learned immediately to help us with our next ERL match. Rentaro uses the Elemental Monkeys. He leads with Simisage, who after wasting his Protect, lost half of his health to a single Ice Punch. We finished it off with Dig and Tackle. Rentaro then brought out Simipour, who we had no good moves against. Thankfully, Cotton was able to tank its water moves, taking out Simipour with half her health remaining. Last out was Simisear, who Cotton took to red health with a single Dig, giving us an easy first try victory against Rentaro. We then had our Rogue Mega tutorial, which is then followed by a battle against Tawny. She leads with Pignite. We had to immediately use Protect to block its Power Up Punch. This was more to prevent the attack boost, then block the attack's damage. We then took out Pignite in 2 hits. For Bayleaf, while we did have Ice Punch, it took 3 hits to take out. This left only Tawny's Mega Manectric. We started by blocking its Spark, however Khan still got paralyzed. We then had Khan do some damage with Ice Punch and Headbutt. Manectric meanwhile had gotten caught into the red, before we could go for Dig, finishing it off. We now had to meet with Vinny at Quasarco headquarters. In order to help Quasarco with the Rogue Mega Pokemon, Vinny proposed a special promotion match. If we could defeat him, then he would promote us to rank F. For this battle, I had Khan learn Power Punch and Thunder Punch. Vinny then leads with Houndoom, who is a 2 KO from Dig and Power Punch. Vinny then sent out Sharpedo, who went down to a combo of Ice Punch and Thunder Punch. Vinny's Baneri then proceeded to take longer than the previous Pokemon, needing 3 hits thanks to Charm. Last was Vinny's Mega Dragon. Despite being a normal Dragon type, Ice Punch and Power Punch only did decent damage, leading to Dragon and Cotton exchanging moves back and forth. Thankfully Cotton's punches were faster, taking out Dragon while she was on only a sliver. Is anyone else seeing a trend here? Winning this match not only promoted us to rank F, but also gave us access to the Megastone shop, where we could finally purchase the Lopunny. After the Gardevoir run, I was glad to have access to the Megastone early. Time for our first round of Rogue Megas, starting with Mega Slowbro. For the battle, we mostly focused on a combo of Power Punch and Thunder Punch. Mega Lopunny's boost in attack had us doing a lot of damage. However, in exchange, Cotton was taking a lot of damage from Slowbro's Psybeam. The key to winning this battle was mostly luck, hoping that Slowbro used Water Pulse over Psybeam. Following Slowbro was Mega Camerupt. I decided to focus on Dig. This helped us a little bit with Cotton avoiding Camerupt's attacks, which, unlike Slowbro's, were more easily avoidable, leading to a quicker fight. Last was Mega Victreebel, and we were once again back to a 1-2 combo, this time with Power Punch and Ice Punch. We did get into a risky spot, as Cotton got herself poisoned. But despite the slowly draining health, she was able to knock out the oversized Fly Trap with the chunk of her health left to spare. Back at the hotel, we then received a notification for our next promotion match. We were to face Kanari. This required winning a quiz show, which then led us to a battle against Kanari's grandpa, Terragon. Terragon took a couple of tries. He leads with Hippowdon, who is super thick, requiring multiple Ice Punches and Dig to take out. This left Khan at Novus III. Terragon's Diggersby thankfully went down to a quick combo of Power Punch and Ice Punch. This left only Terragon's Mega Excadrill, who surprisingly also went down to a combo of Power Punch and Ice Punch. On to Kanari. She took more tries than Terragon. She leads with Heliolisk, who is a one-shot with Dig. The problem was what came after, Ampharos, who has Con Guard. The boosted defense made Ampharos super tanky, forcing us to Mega Evolve just to take it out in 3 hits. Kanari then sent out Stunfisk, who was a 2 KO, leaving only her ace, Mega Electros. Electros' discharge took Con to under half. However, we then just took it out with a boosted Dig. Next up was our second round of Rogue Megas. this time starting with Mega Beedrill. We now had Fire Punch, giving us a super effective move that easily destroyed this already low health Mega Pokemon. Next was Mega Hawlucha, who I discovered can one-shot Mega Contail from full health with his Flying Press. On the next attempt, we made sure to stun Hawlucha out of its charge-up. The Flying Press still left Cotton in the red, but this sliver of health was surprisingly enough, as dodging a second Flying Press and a constant barrage of Thunder Punch and Ice Punch gave us the win. Last was Mega Banette. We had nothing super effective. However, Banette had very little that could damage Cotton. We lost multiple attempts though, to us the player going down. Being more careful with Banette's phase 2 charge attack, we took it out with Cotton still at almost full health. We can now return to the hotel, where our next Zero opponent was revealed to be Ivor. However, we first had to help Ivor and Emma find Ivor's missing sister. We found said sister in the sewers, where she asked us to battle her. Gwen's Banette and Gorgas were both 3 KOs. This left only her ace, Mega Chandelure. It was a 4 KO from a Mega Evolved Contail. With Ivor's sister now joining us back on the surface, we could face him for our promotion match. This was one of the matches I was scared for. After a Power Punch, we almost took out Ivor's Heracross with Fire Punch. We did get the burn, which caused Heracross to go down. Ivor then sent out Medicham, and just like Heracross, we had to bait out its fighting move, before going for Power Punch. The attack boost allowing Bounce to take out Medicham. Oh yeah, we learned Bounce for this battle. We then Mega Evolved for Ivor's Machamp. We went for the same strat as Machamp, taking out Machamp with Bounce. Last out was Ivor's ace, Mega Phalanx. With Cotton still in great health, she could survive Phalanx's Brick Break. However, without the attack boost, Phalanx survives Cotton's Bounce, allowing it to take her out. At level 60, we tank Phalanx's Brick Break as usual, and go for Bounce, this time to move Paralyzed Phalanx. Phalanx then went for Rock Slide, but it did very little damage, and was super slow, allowing Cotton to get a Power Punch and Fire Punch, winning the battle. Back at the hotel, we then got a call from the Red Syndicate, asking us to meet them at their office. This led to a battle with the Red Syndicate's second in command, Philippe. His lead Steelix took a lot of hits. Even with the boost for Power Punch, it still took on 5 hits to take out Steelix, leaving her at below half. Philippe then brought out his Scizor. Philippe then brought out his ace, Mega Skarmory. Fire Punch from Mega Contail took her to a quarter, as Skarmory's Steel Wing did the same. Skarmory then went down to Power Punch. We can now meet the leader of the Red Syndicate, Corbeau, who wanted us to do some odd jobs for him in order to help with the debt that Tawny had built up. However, first was our next round of Road Megas, starting with Mega Mawile. While Mega Mawile is a Fairy type, its only threatening move was its Moonblast Barrage. However, for that move, we could simply recall Cotton and dodge the attack. With Mawile back on the field, we could go back to spamming Fire Punch until it went down. Next was Mega Barbaracle, who I forgot was part fighting. Also, why the fuck does this thing have a beam attack? Pardon my French. For this battle, we needed a stronger fighting move, and look what we have here, Dynamic Punch. I am not a fan of slow moves, but we needed this to get the stun on Mega Barbaracle, as Power Punch alone was not enough. Last was Mega Ampharos. Ampharos becomes part Dragon when the Mega evolves, so this battle for the most part was just spamming Ice Punch. I did leave in Cotton for Ampharos' discharge to see how the damage looked. This took her to almost half and paralyzed her. Not bad. With Cotton and obviously no danger, I just had her keep up the assault, eventually taking out Ampharos. It was now time to do the odd jobs for Corbeau, eventually leading us back to his office, where we discovered he was our next ZRL opponent. He leads with Arbok, who always starts with Toxic, so we had to use Protect, before going for Power Punch. The boost helped us take out Arbok in 2 more hits. Next was Gyarados. However, it somehow survived Thunder Punch, gaining at a balance before going down. This left Cotton at above half. Corbeau then sent out Roserade. It survived Fire Punch. This allowed it to use Sludge Bomb, taking Cotton to a third before it could finish it off with Thunder Punch. Last was Corbeau's ace, Mega Scolipede. We went for Power Punch. Scolipede blocked it, but we still got the boost. Scolipede then survived Fire Punch, but Cotton managed to quickly get in a Thunder Punch, before Scolipede could attack, winning the battle. The next day, we encountered Lebane, inviting us to a tournament held by Chisan. However, we had to leave early to deal with some Road Megas, starting with Mega Frostlass. I had Con mostly focus on Fire Punch. I even kept her in the fight during Frostlass's Icicle Crash. However, I then recalled her when Frostlass was doing its Blizzard. I'm a risk taker, not stupid. Good job, Ariados. We had managed to get Frostlass to a second phase, but it was charging its attack. So we had to go through one more round of Icicle Crash before finally taking on Frostlass. Next was Mega Altaria. I had Con go for Ice Punch. However, Altaria has quite a few risky moves. We had to recall Con for its Twister, which we had to run and dodge roll to avoid. As for Altaria's Moonblast, it seemed they were primarily aimed at the player, so as long as Con was not close to me when Altaria did the attack, it would never hit her. Gaining Altaria to low health brought back to the ground, where it proceeded to use Brave Bird. This got Mega Con down to red health, but we got the win. Last was Mega Venusaur. For this battle, we had Fire Punch and Ice Punch. However, Venusaur's Leech Seed and Solar Beam still require us to recall Con back to her Pokeball, not to mention for its Sludge Wave. But as long as we had the foresight to avoid these attacks, Con was in no danger. Returning to the hotel, we decided it was time to return to Jusant's tournament. However, we first needed to battle Lebane. I had Con block Noivern's Super Fang before going for Ice Punch. It was a one-shot. Lebane then sent out Tyrantrum. It lowered Con's attack with Breaking Swipe. However, while Con could not do much damage, neither could Tyrantrum, until it got the defense drop from Crunch. This allowed its next Breaking Swipe to take Con to a third, right as we finished it off. I decided to now Mega Evolve Con, as Lebane sent out Garchomp. It was also a one-shot with Ice Punch. Last was Lebane's ace, Mega Dragalge. We went for Fire Punch to waste Dragalge's Protect. This was so we could go for Ice Punch, basically one-shotting Dragalge. Following the battle, we discovered Jusant was our next opponent for the Zia Real. However, we first needed to participate in our tournament. The battles were against Canary, Ivor, and Corvo. However, they were all similar to their promotion matches, except for Ivor, whose Phalanx now had close combat. We blocked him with Protect, before going for Bounce. However, Phalanx had used no retreat to neutralize its defense drops. This allowed it to survive Bounce, but thankfully, Con was able to follow up with a Fire Punch, before Phalanx could use Iron Head. Following Corvo, Zygarde decided to interrupt the tournament, forcing us to battle in its 50% form. However, we had Ice Punch. On to Jusant. She leads with Carbink, who is quite tanky. On her first attempt, it got Con all the way down to a third. Yeah, you heard right. A Carbink did that. Following that, Jusant sent out Mawile, who took Con to red health but was a 2 KO. Con then went down to Aurorus. I decided to swap out Protect for Iron Tail. Using Power Up Punch, we quickly took out Carbink with one Iron Tail. Mawile was still the same, a combo of Power Punch and Fire Punch. But then for Aurorus, we managed to get the one-shot with a non-boosted Iron Tail. Jusant then sent out Gardevoir. I for some reason decided not to use Iron Tail, having Con take out Gardevoir in a series of punches. This resulted in Con being taken down to a third for Jusant's ace, Mega Clefable. We went for Iron Tail, forgetting about Clefable's Protect, but then Thunder Punch got the KO. This win gives us the team for player of. Finally, a more reliable move than Bounce for fighting types. Time for our final round of Road Megas, starting with Mega Dragonite. I decided to try out Play Rough. It was doing a lot of damage, however so was Dragonite. This battle took multiple tries. We had to pair Play Rough with Ice Punch, because Dragonite's charge attack is Hyper Beam, which can take out us the player if we're not careful. We needed a super effective move to stun Dragonite, forcing it to use its weaker version of Hyper Beam. With us in no danger of its Hyper Beam, we could easily take out Dragonite. Next was Tyranitar, and while we did go down a couple of times because we were too close when we used Stone Edge, it was easy pickings with Player Off and Iron Tail. Last was Mega Starmie. This one, unlike the last two, was a first try victory. However, that is not to say Mega Starmie is not strong. It got Con all the way down to red health. It's just that its most dangerous moves are all easily avoidable. Back at the hotel, we got the notification for our final promotion match. We were to face Grissom. However, to find Grissom, we needed to talk to Emma, who would not reveal anything unless we battled her. She leads with Ampharos. However, thankfully no Cotton Guard. It was a 3 KO. Emma then sent out Mawile, who, like Jusant's, was a 2 KO, but it did manage to do big damage with Dynamic Punch. Next was Emma's own Lopunny, and it seemed we were both running similar movesets. It was a 2 KO, taking Con to below half. I decided to now Mega Evolve Con. This made Emma's Lucario a one-shot, leaving only her ace, Mega Malamar. It was faster, but thankfully Con survived the Psycho Cut, allowing her to get the one-shot of Play Rough. Emma then sent us to Professor Mabel, who then sent us to the Cafe Nouveau food truck, where we discovered Grissom was the barista in the truck. Grissom was the leader for Team Flare Nouveau, and as we were allied with AZ, he wanted us to know the truth of AZ's crimes. However, we first had to battle Grissom. I would like to remind people, I'm still battling with level cap, and until I beat Grissom, that level cap is 80. Con is currently level 77, and we still need to get our challenger's ticket. Grissom leads with Talonflame, who was a 3 KO. This brought out Camerupt, who was our first big struggle. It took a lot of hits, and when we were finally able to take it out, Grissom sent out Aerodactyl, who also needed 3 hits to take out, getting Con to red health. This made her easy pickings for Grissom's Metagross. Since we could not level up, I decided to make a trip back to the berry cellar to buy more Hondu berries. This was so we could get rid of any useless special attack AVs, and then use protein to replace them with attack AVs. This did not immediately turn the battle in our favor. Using a +2 Thunder Punch, we were able to make Talonflame with 2 KO. Against Camerupt, I would first have Con use Ice Punch to use up Camerupt's Protect before going for Dig. This took out Camerupt. Aerodactyl was now a 2 KO with Thunder Punch and Ice Punch, so we're now back to Metagross with green health. We had to just tank Metagross's attacks. It was a 3 KO, but this left Con in red health for Grissom's ace, Mega Pyroar. Despite her low health, Con took low damage from Pyroar's Snarl, as she went for Dig. Pyroar lived to hit, but Con managed to get in a follow-up Fire Punch, winning the battle. We now had to traverse what was left of Team Flare's old headquarters, avoiding all battles except the mandatory one with the Alpha Aegislash at the end. We could not find out the truth, that whatever was inside Prism Tower that was causing the Road Mega Pokemon was created by AZ. However, as I trust AZ more than Team Flare, we refused to give Grissom AZ's Floette, leading to our promotion match. Grissom's lead Pangoro was a one-shot Play Rough. He then sent out Malamar, who always starts with Hypnosis, forcing us to use Protect. We then used Power Punch, the boost allowing us to get the one-shot of Play Rough. After Malamar was Pyroar, who I decided to Mega Evolve against. It was 2 KO. This then brought out Salamence, who took Con to red health with a single Aerial Ace, as Ice Punch one-shot it. This caused Con to go down to Tyranitar. On our winning attempt, we got unlucky, as Pangoro got in a Brick Break before going down. We then Mega Evolved before Pyroar was sent out. This brought out Salamence instead. We then blocked Salamence's Aerial Ace, before taking it out with Ice Punch. Following Salamence was Pyroar, who was still a 2 KO, meaning we were back to Tyranitar. It was a one-shot from Power Punch. This left only Grissom's ace, Mega Charizard X. We went for Ice Punch, which used up Charizard's Protect, and then Power Punch. This took Charizard to yellow health, as they went for Flare Blitz, which Con survived on only 4 HP, allowing her to get the win with Play Rough. We beat the Zia Real. However, the challenge was not over yet, as Anj decided to run amok. To stop it, we needed the power of Mega Floette. However, to decide who would partner with Floette, we had to battle Tawny. Tawny's lead Meowstic has Reflect, but it cannot hit very hard, so while it took 7 hits to go down, Con had only lost less than a quarter of her health. Tawny then sent out Goodra, who likes to start with Toxic, so I had Con go for Protect, before going for Power Punch and then Play Rough, taking Goodra to a quarter. Goodra's Dragon Meteor took Con to half, but then its Blizzard and Surf took Con to a quarter, as Con had to use all of her offensive moves to finish off Goodra. With Con at such low health, I decided to have her Mega Evolve. Tawny's Avalok, however, survived a boosted Fire Punch, allowing it to take Con to a sliver, before going down to Play Rough. A combo of Power Punch and Play Rough then took out Emboar. For Tawny's Manectric, we had to make it waste its Protect. That way Con was able to take it out with a boosted Fire Punch. This left only Tawny's Mega Meganium. It started with Leech Seed, as we had Con use Power Punch. Meganium tried to go for Dazzling Gleam, but Con was faster, taking out Meganium with Fire Punch. Tawny then went up into the tower floor anyway, leaving us to somehow get to the Magenta District to get the Zygarde. The path to Zygarde was blocked by groups of rogue Mega Pokemon. First was Mega Gengar and Mega Heracross. Gengar could not hit Con with very many moves, but its Sludge Wave did leave a mark, leaving Con at half before we could Mega Evolve and take it out. Heracross then surprisingly took a lot of hits to take out, despite us having both Fire Punch and Play Rough. Next was Mega Pidgeot, Mega Gascon, and Mega Garchomp. I don't know what it was with this fight, but Gascon and Garchomp would just not get off our ass. To start off the battle, we had to immediately recall Con and run away, so that Gascon and Garchomp would focus on Ivor and Gwent. 1v1ing Pidgeot was the only thing we could do, though it was not easy. We had to teach Con Guard in order to reduce Pidgeot's damage. The boosted defense caused the battle to be a battle of attrition. Neither of us were doing a lot of damage. By the time we took out Pidgeot, Con was at half. As this was happening, Gwent seemed to have poisoned Garchomp, so despite locking onto us, it quickly went down. This left only Genghis-Khan, who we easily took out since it was 3v1. Next was Mega Blastoise and Mega Steelix. We focused on Steelix first. Con's first Fire Punch getting the burn, having Steelix attack. As a result of this, Con was still at above half health when she took out Steelix. This left only Blastoise, who was easy pickings with Thunder Punch. Following this was a battle of Mega Salamence and Mega Aggron. We swapped out Thunder Punch for Ice Punch. This resulted in Salamence going down fast. We then Mega Evolved for Aggron, taking it out with a combo of Power Punch and Fire Punch. This then led us to a battle of Mega Gardevoir and Mega Gallade. For this battle, we were forced to use only plus moves. Mega Lopunny's added fighting type put Con at a disadvantage. Luckily, Corbo's Scolipede managed to poison both Gardevoir and Gallade. This sped up this rather slower paced battle. Finally, all that was left on our way was Mega Alakazam, Mega Metagross, and Mega Aerodactyl. When I started this battle, I decided it was too dangerous to Mega Evolve Con. Alakazam and Metagross were too dangerous. Not to mention, Metagross was designed to act like Garchomp. It would not leave us alone. You want to know what won us the battle? Mega Evolving and soloing Metagross. I'm not kidding. Metagross had managed to get itself burned. This resulted in it doing less than half the Con before going down. We then took out Aerodactyl, before joining Grissom and Grissel and taking out Alakazam. We can now reach Zygarde, who transformed into its 100% form, beginning the battle with Ange. I tried to start with the Red Flower, like usual, but it shredded Con's health bar, so we went for the Blue Flower instead. Its special attacks either not doing much damage, or not being aimed at Con at all. It then hit me. The flowers were attacking the player, not the Pokemon. This was why the Red Flower got in so many hits. We were hiding behind some rubble, with Con literally in front of us. By staying up close to the Red Flower, dodging its attacks, we gave Con the opening she needed to take it out. For the second and third phase, the Blue Flower gains an AoE missed attack. However, by staying back and waiting, the flower will go for another move, dispelling the attack. By taking advantage of this, we defeated Ange. However, the game was still not over yet. With what's left of its strength, Ange fired one last light of ruin into the sky, with Lumiose as its target. Unfortunately for Ange, we just happened to gain the ability to Mega Evolve Zygarde, who intercepted the attack, saving the city and ending the game. We beat Pokemon Legends ZA with only Lopunny. Despite being a Pokemon with a Mega Evolution, Lopunny had a rough time. If it was not for Power Punch, Lopunny would have not had the damage to survive a lot of battles. I feel that one thing that held Lopunny back was that some of its better TMs were locked in post-game via the DLC, like Facade and Drain Punch. Imagine, Mega Lopunny with Drain Punch would have been busted. Anywho, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See ya.